live from Marson Field on the campus of Colfax High School. Touchdown Productions, celebrating 20 years of local high school sports excellence, is proud to present Colfax Falcon Football. Tonight, as we open up the 2016 SFL season, your Colfax Falcons take on their crosstown rivals, the Placer Hillmen. The preseason is over and we're on the road to the PBL title, and all the action starts right here, right now. It's your 20th anniversary NorCal Game of the Week. The Colfax Falcons open up the 2016 PVL season at home in front of the Falcon faithful tonight against their crosstown rival, the Placer Hillmen. Good evening, football fans, wherever you are across our worldwide audience. This is Steve Sitter, your play-by-play announcer, and joining me tonight in the broadcast booth is my partner, Paul Brown. Our producer and director and the commander, too, is Gilbert M. Dominguez, and he is joined by the rest of the Touchdown Productions sports team of Cassandra Hamlin and Eric Schmidt. Paul, the Falcons are coming off an excellent preseason and open up league play tied for first place in the PVL at 4-1 along with center.
So true, Steve, and Coach Tony Martello has the Falcons firing on all cylinders this year. His trademark has always been a high-scoring offense. This year, no exception. The Falcons have scored 29 TDs, 8 of them through the air, while rushing for 222 yards a game. On the other side of the ball, Coach Montoya and the Placer Hillmen are going through a bit of a youth movement, if you will, trying to build something for the future. They've scored only 18 TDs and rushed for 244 yards per game. But, you know, it's really been Placer's defense that has kept them in most of these games. They've got 13 sacks and 2 interceptions. Now, Colfax is slightly ahead on passing yards, 187 to 147, but Placer is ahead on rushing, 244 to 222. Take all the stats, roll them in a ball, throw them out the window, because it comes to Placer versus Colfax, the competition, anything could happen. The rivalry between these two schools is legendary, and we're going to see quite a game tonight. You and I already discussed it. This is going to be a very, very even football game.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now we've got a good one for you tonight, and with one team on the field and one team all prepped to take the field, we will step aside, and when we come back, we'll take our walk around the foothills and get caught up on all the football standings. You're watching exclusive coverage of Colfax football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
With nearly 30 years of proudly serving our community, Auburn Toyota is expanding to offer more new Toyota inventory than ever before. Chances are we have the exact Toyota model you want, ready for you to drive home today. With many years of combined sales experience and hundreds of new Toyota cars, trucks, 4x4s, and SUVs, now is the perfect time to buy at Auburn Toyota. Come see why for generations Foothill Toyota buyers buy from Auburn Toyota, which is why we like to say Auburn Toyota is the place where the customers come back.
Fired up.
It's not going to be as easy as last week.
Not a big squad.
We are back at Marson Field on the campus of Colfax High School. The Colfax Falcons have just taken the field, and tonight they will be facing arguably their toughest opponent of the year in their season opener, the Placer Hillmen. So, Paul, let's take a look at the overall football standings.
Let's take a quick walk around, take a look what's happening here in the PVL. Pioneer Valley League, Center 4-1. Overall record, they have 1 win in league. Colfax 4-1 also. We'll see them tonight. Bear River 2-3, Lincoln 2-3, Placer 1-4, surprisingly, and Foothill 1-4.
A lot of that is strength of schedule. Placer has been playing some very difficult preseason opponents.
True. Sierra Foothill League, Steve. Oak Ridge is 1-0, 4-1 overall. Folsom 2-0, 5-1 overall. My bet is on Folsom this year. We'll have to see how that one pans out. Rockland is 1-0 with a 4-1 record. Del Oro, we saw Del Oro last week. You and I did that game. 6-0 for the season, 2-0 overall for league, followed by Wood Creek, Granite Bay, and Nevada Union, 0-2 for league, 2-4 for overall win-loss.
Del Oro is, right now they're just operating under the strain of winning state last year, and now with a slightly younger team, they're going to try and repeat, and that is always so difficult when you have a brand new offense.
That's so true. Tonight we're going to see two excellent quarterbacks, and we've covered the Placer Hillmen a couple of times so far this year. Joey Montoya, as usual, coming out with a very, very good group. A lot of sophomores and juniors coming on the field. Michael Stuke will be the quarterback for the Placer Hillmen. He's 45-91, 45 completions, 91 attempts overall for 739 yards. He completes about half of his passes, very accurate. He's only a sophomore. What are we going to see for the Falcons, Steve?
Well, the Falcons are definitely an offensive powerhouse. They have an excellent quarterback in Austin Weir. He is a senior. He's throwing 60%, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. He averages about 150 yards per game.
Wow.
However, Placer has a lineman by the name of Morgan Rain Robinson. He is a senior. He is averaging 1 sack a game. And he's totaled 43 yards just on sacks. On the running aspect of the offense, Colfax has 2 excellent running backs in Mason Aarons and Mark Avila. Their stats are very, very similar. Aarons is a junior. He's averaging about 95 yards per game. He has 12 touchdowns, and he averages 10 yards a carry, which is fantastic. And then you look at Mark Avila, who is a senior. He's averaging 80 yards per game. He has 6 touchdowns and averages 8.5 yards per carry. Each of these guys will give you a first down just about every time.
Right.
That's an average of 10 yards a carry. That is phenomenal. And Placer's defense really has to step up if they want any hope of stopping Colfax. So with both teams now on the field and warming up, we will take our second break of the night. You're watching exclusive coverage of Colfax Falcon football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
It's going to be a good one tonight, friends. Hang in there.
The Dive is the newest family-friendly restaurant in Lake of the Pines. Their entire menu of burgers, salads, and sandwiches are available for dining in or to take home. Featuring a selection of beer and wines, they also offer catering services for your next event with their new food truck, Dive on the Go. It's The Dive in Lake of the Pines on Comby Road and dineatthedive.com.
Welcome back to Marston Field on the campus of Colfax High School. We just got through with the coin toss. Colfax wins and elects to defer, so Placer will have the first possession of the game.
So, Steve, you and I have been discussing these two teams and making projections for what we're going to see tonight. I came into the stadium thinking that Placer was going to be an overwhelming favorite, and you have actually changed my mind on that.
Yeah, taking a look at the numbers, Max Preps has Placer listed as number 472 in the state and Colfax at 510, making Placer just a little bit of a favorite. And there's over 1,000 teams in California, so a difference of 40 like that is really, really close in the standings. Getting into last week, these teams had very different weeks. Last week, Placer got killed by Vista Del Lago 56-14, and Colfax just steamrolled Wheatland 40-6. So the keys, I think, to tonight's game, Colfax definitely knows how to score. So Placer's defense has to stand them up. If they can get some turnovers, great. If they can stop the offense and force punts, even better. Placer is definitely hurting after last week's blowout, so there's a chance they're going to come into this game with a bit of a loose cannon attitude. They have to stay disciplined, not give up really easy penalties. And lastly, this is the first game in the PVL season. 1 loss is really all it takes in the PVL to drop you from first to third or from second to fifth. So whichever team is down at the half, look for them to make some drastic, immediate changes.
When you have two teams like this that are evenly matched, I'll always take the defensive team, and that would be Placer. I'm going to put my money on Placer tonight.
Well, Placer will start this off. Receives it at the 10-yard line. Nice cut upwards.
He's got some room.
And he's going to get all the way up past midfield. That was an excellent way to open this game up. Placer will start this in Colfax territory.
And that was number 21 for the Hillmen, and we don't have him on our roster. Unfortunately, he's in the backfield.
That was Kerrigan.
Kerrigan is wearing,
Anthony Kerrigan.
He's wearing number 21, not number 20, as on our program, so he gets off to a good start.
Yeah, Placer gets to start this on the Colfax 49. Placer runs the wing T, have for years. Expect quick to the line and deceptive handoffs. It's quickly to Kerrigan. Kerrigan's going to pull up and shoot back up the middle, and he gets run into by about 3 Colfax linemen for a gain of 2.
Big number 8 in there, Zane McDay, the outside linebacker. In fact, his dad just came up to tell us he's wearing number 8 tonight rather than number 56. Good hit.
And Colfax is not a deep team in terms of number of players on the sidelines, but they are a big team in terms of individual size. Now 2nd and 8. This will be a quick handoff to Mario Perez, and Perez is going to get tripped up just inside the 40. That's going to be good enough for a Placer first down.
Wow, they're getting big chunks of yardage early, aren't they?
Yeah, Perez is a junior running back for Placer. He averages just under 100 yards a game, and he has 9 touchdowns, by far the most of any Hillman. So a new set of downs for Placer on the Colfax 38. And dropping back to pass, and across the middle, complete to Carter Benz, who is immediately dropped short of the first down by a couple yards.
Good catch by Benz, having to lean back and catch it over his shoulder. Doesn't quite get the yardage, though. 2nd down.
2nd and about 3 on the Colfax 30-yard line. Oh, quick to the line. Hand off to Perez. Perez has a hole. Tries to cut back up the middle. Can't shake the tackle on the 20. And he'll be brought down at the 16-yard line. That's another Hillman first down. Wing T is not known for big yard plays, but Placer already with a couple. And starting with good field position, that is a very fast way to get into the red zone.
Like you were saying earlier, Steve, this Placer team is a grinder. They will grind it out on the ground. They will beat you a foot at a time, a yard at a time.
That's a very late inside handoff. That's Josh Jacoby, and Jacoby's going to get brought down at the 12-yard line, gain of about 4.
Jacoby, a back that we haven't called his number too often prior to this.
Excuse me, that was actually Dallin Trentman.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here.
He's listed as a middle linebacker.
What's he doing back there? Clearly they're looking for some beef in the backfield. 6'5", 10, 199.
Here's 2nd and 5. Very late handoff to Kerrigan.
Lots
Kerrigan
of room.
To the edge, and he is in for a Placer touchdown.
Anthony Kerrigan, the junior running back. You watch the Placer Hillmen take it down the field. I believe it was 7 plays. Never a doubt, never even a 3rd down, Steve.
No, never a 3rd down. Kerrigan, this is only his 3rd game. Coming in, he was averaging about 6 yards per carry. Colfax almost jumps off sides, and that kick is way good.
So there it is, and you've heard it.
2.5 minutes.
The gauntlet has been thrown down. That if this is the kind of defense we're going to see out of Colfax, they need to get on the field and do the same. They need to score.
Well, Colfax is not Vista Del Lago, and Placer just found that out.
Here's a replay of the touchdown. And you'll see wide open, lots of room on the right side. Good sealing off block.
Everyone on Placer bit left, including our cameraman. That is how good of a handoff that was. So exactly 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Placer Hillmen take a 7-0 lead. We'll be right back on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
It's the fall project sale at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. Fall is the perfect time to finish your projects before the winter weather sets in. Their monthly circular is always available as you enter the store and in the Union newspaper. Serving Nevada County since 1940, it's B&C True Value Home and Garden Center, where behind every project is a true value.
Back at Marson Field at Colfax High School, the Placer Hillmen score quick and very, very efficiently. They take a 7-0 lead here with 9:30 left in the first quarter. This kick is going to be taken at the 10-yard line, trying to come back up the middle with it and brought down hard. That was, I believe, Blake Van Dyke, the kicker, who got in there and made a vicious tackle.
So let's see if the Falcons can come back. Like you were saying at the top of the show, Steve, this team has some powerful offense.
I do have to make a correction. That was Morgan Rain Robinson. No surprise there. He of the 1 sack per game. 5'11", 225 senior defensive end. Colfax will have to start this drive deep in their own territory on their own 17-yard line, and we'll see what Austin Weir and the Colfax offense can do. 3 wide, quickly. Pocket collapses, and a nice scramble. And he's going to be hit just outside of his own 20-yard line. Gain of about 5.
No place to throw the football. Weir looked over both sides of the field, patiently looking, found nothing. Decided to pick up the 5 he could get.
Yeah, good job, the offensive line, spreading the pressure around the quarterback instead of having him up front, allowing Weir to scramble forward as opposed to out the side. So 2nd and 5 on the 21-yard line. Quick inside handoff. And dropped for a loss. That was Logan Moore on the tackle. Really shot through that hole. That's going to set up 3rd and 7.
Logan Moore, who is the tackle on the right side, the senior, 6'2", 235. Really a load out there.
So there's the long 3rd down play. Weir's going to try and throw. Quick slant route complete to Nick Van Dorn. And that's going to be good enough for a 1st down and then some.
Nicely run pattern, nicely executed pass play.
Man, nothing special, just a quick out route delivered perfectly to Nick Van Dorn.
Ball was thrown well before he made his cut. Good looking pass.
A nice 3rd down conversion. A little bit of motion before that snap, and a nice spin by Mark Avila. He's going to pick up about 9.
Both teams showing that they can score the football.
Avila looks like he's trying to shake his left arm awake. He may have gotten a dead arm on the way down. So 2nd and 1, approaching midfield. And we have flags from the side.
Yeah, Avila, he wasn't ready. He was leaning forward. I think it's going to be offsides. It is going to be against Colfax, I believe.
I think you may be right. I noticed Avila was looking a little jumpy, too. That's going to be a false start.
Only 35 players on the roster for Colfax. Not a lot of backups in the sideline to draw from.
I count 27. Go from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 6. The option play, crossing route, and complete to Garrett O'Keefe. A tight end. That'll get him back the 5 yards that they gave up. And nope, and one more. So that's going to be another 1st down for Colfax. So the West Coast offense is moving the ball upwards nicely for the Falcons. 1st down on their own 45. There's a handoff to Ahrens. Ahrens will be dragged out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. That'll be good for 5 more.
Placer a little bigger up front. I would say you match them up man for man, defensive line to offensive line. I think they're just a little bigger, but so far neither team is showing dominance on either side.
A name we've called many times the past couple of years, Joey Capra.
There you go.
One of the defensive linemen. Big fella. Quick handoff to Aarons, and Aarons brought down by Chase Laguna Scott. Just a 2-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 4. Laguna Scott, a 5'11", 215 sophomore. But we have called his name on more than one occasion. He is an excellent defender. So 3rd and 4. 3 wide for the Falcons. Placer showing blitz.
They're going to run.
It's a very late handoff. That was supposed to be an option to Mark Avila. And there were 3 Hillmen in the backfield before the handoff was even complete.
Tony Martello stacked it up in the middle of the box, Steve. You could see that they were coming, and let's see the replay on this. Watch. They stack it up right in the middle. There they come. You can see them coming. No question about it. They sneak through and drive him backwards.
As we get back to live action, Placer was scrambling with substitution, so they're going to take the first time out of the game on 4th and 7. So 5:55 left in the first quarter. Placer Hillmen leads 7-0, and they will be all set to take their second possession of the game right here on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
This is gray. This is white.
It's tough. They're both green.
I know. They're both green. Thanks, Gil. Sorry, I got it.
4th and 6 for the Falcons. All set to punt away to the Placer Hillmen. They trail 7-0. Punt from their own 36-yard line. It's going to be caught on the 15. Trying to cut back is Hugh Hansen. And Hansen's going to pick up about 5 yards on the return. Placer will start on their own 20.
Needless to say, Colfax is going to have to find themselves some defense.
Yeah, like we said earlier, the wing T offense is not designed for huge spurts of yardage. It's supposed to be grinding out 4 yards a play. That first possession, which started in Colfax territory, was just one big gain after another. So we'll see how Colfax adjusts. This is going to be a keeper. Here comes Stuck throwing deep. And that's going to be pass interference easily. Face guarding was Mason Aarons. He never even turned around to pick that ball up. That's an easy flag. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that might be the easiest pass interference call I have ever seen on the Game of the Week.
Well, let's watch the replay, and you'll see the ball. There you go, down the field. And so far, Steve, I don't see it. There it is. But it's the offensive player that seems to be wrapped up. I don't know.
Aaron's never turned around. That is going to be an easy call if you never turn around to even see where the ball is and you're running into someone else. That's going to be a pass interference every time.
And that's what it's going to be.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, automatic. Well, not an automatic first down, but on the first play of a drive, it will be a first down. I'll march them from their own 20 to their own 35. So whether it's a big gain on the ground or a big gain on a penalty, Placer just continues to march downfield.
White. I'm sorry, I thought you said white.
Quick inside handoff to Mario Perez, and Perez is slammed down at the line of scrimmage.
Good tackle inside there. Number 51 for Colfax.
That would be McShane. Actually stopped for a loss. This will be 2nd and 11. So So there's the defensive Colfax stepping up. There's a double handoff, ends up to Dallin Trentman.
Reversing the backfield, and Trentman gets a couple. So, Steve, look at this. We've got a third down.
Yeah, first one the Hillmen have seen tonight with 4:50 left in the first quarter. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
In 2 possessions, this is the closest thing to defense that the Falcons have come up with. They need to stop them here.
That was a good stop, too, on the reverse. 2 very quick, sneaky handoffs. They were not full extension.
He's going to pass.
And here's Stuck, thrown across, and that's tipped and almost picked off. And this is going to be an incomplete pass, no fumble.
I believe that was number 51 out there. We're going to give him credit.
That's McShane again.
Sure enough. Here's a replay. Let's see if it is Connor McShane that gets the tip here. Bats the ball down. Boom, there it is there, and
absolutely.
Let's make sure he got the right guy. I believe it is.
It's on 4th and 7. Placer will punt. 1 man deep for Colfax. He's very deep, about his own 20-yard line.
I was on him.
This punt will be coming from the Placer 25, roughly. And it's going to be delay a game, so everything I just said is wrong.
Well, it's going to back him up a bit. It looks like Colfax is going to get this ball in some reasonable field position.
Placer punted an awful lot last week against Vista Del Lago. All those possessions, only 2 fumble recoveries. Those are the only turnovers for Placer. It's Garen O'Keefe back, and there's the rugby-style kick. That's going to get very deep. O'Keefe will let this drop, and it takes a Placer bounce and a Placer roll. That's going to roll all the way down to about the 9-yard line. Excellent kick.
So the Falcons are going to have a 1st and 10. I'm looking, Steve, what is it, about maybe the 7-yard line?
They'll spot this about the 9.
Okay, so we'll get the 9-yard line. They've got their work cut out for them.
Well, Placer did a good job of filling the holes on the run game, but the passing game of Colfax has still been pretty much untouchable. There's a handoff in the backfield. Pulling up is Avila, and Avila's going to get some nice yards. There's a fumble. Ball comes out. Everyone on Placer signaling they have it. We'll wait for the referees to sort out the pile. And it is Placer ball.
Avila just tried to get a little extra after he was hit. Kept his legs moving, and somebody knocked the ball out of there. This is a really bad break for the Falcons.
An excellent break for the Hillmen. They will get it on the 14-yard line. How about that? You march upfield, punt, very next play, get a fumble recovery. 4:05 remaining in the first. 7-0 Placer against the Colfax Falcons. And Placer threatening already. There's a quick handoff to Mario Perez, and Perez will march his way forward towards the first down line. He will be a yard short. It'll be 2nd and 1 on the 6. Actually, mark it back a little bit, 2nd and 2. So a nice 8-yard pickup when you're deep in the red zone. That's Perez again, and Perez is going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. I believe he fell forward for the first down.
Mario Perez, the fullback, 6 foot, 215. Runs straight up and down, though. Doesn't have much tilt on his body when he's going through that line. Keeps his head way up.
And they're going to spot this a yard short. So 3rd and 1 on the 4-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised if they give it back to Perez.
We got Kerrigan It was Kerrigan and Rain Robinson. And this is going to be straight up the middle again. A whole lot of bodies there, but this will be good enough for the first down. At about a yard, maybe two shy of the touchdown. I believe that was Trentman who got the call on that one. No, first and goal on the 1. Placer with 4 chances to punch it in for 1 yard. And off straight ahead, Perez. I believe that's Perez, and he is in for the touchdown.
So the Hillmen go up 13-0 here in the late stages of the first quarter by virtue of a fumble by the Falcons.
Costly turnover on the first possession, on the first play of that series. Extra point is up and good. That will extend Placer's lead to 14-0 here in the first quarter.
Here's a replay, and let's see, we got, I believe it's of the touchdown. Nothing fancy here, just straight ahead blocking. We used to call that wedge blocking in my day.
Yeah, just nothing fancy. Placer's making the most of a costly turnover deep in Colfax territory. They lead 14-0 on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
Hey, hon, remember the guys are coming over later to watch the game.
Make a play for winning trays from Portisets. We have the perfect tray for every game and every fan. So use your app or order online today.
Make Portisets your destination.
Back at Colfax High School, Placer Hillmen have a 14-0 lead with 2:22 left in the first quarter. Placer offense looking fantastic, and a big fumble recovery on the last possession set up that last touchdown. This kick will be received at about the 7-yard line. Coming across, that's Mark Avila, and Avila is going to get tripped up, and it will fall about the 26-yard line. So another 80-plus yard drive set up for the Falcons.
Avila clearly is their best back. Good speed. He needs to hold on to the football.
And it is still early in this game. You have to wonder what that'll do to the confidence level. That's another handoff. This one going absolutely nowhere. Of course, everyone on Placer is trying to come up with a strip.
Yeah, they're really tackling the football.
Yeah, they're going to be nice and give him a couple yards on the run. Forward progress, 2nd and 8. You see at lower caliber defenses when one guy makes a hit on the ball carrier, everyone just kind of relaxes. Not this team. They know how to gang tackle. There's the option. We're back, throwing across, and complete.
Wide open.
That's Jake Green. Green down the left side. One man to beat, and he's by him. Touchdown, Falcons.
Jake Green showing some speed after a very accurate pass from Austin Weir. Now that's the Colfax offense we were expecting tonight.
Well, there's that passing game we've been talking about, wondering where it is, and we just saw it. Nothing fancy. Again, just a straight route up the sideline.
No one was around him. He had no defender on him.
One block upfield was all he needed, burned right by Johnny Callahan. Just like that, Colfax is back in this game.
Now there's a flag down on the field, and I believe it was roughing the passer after the pass was let go by Weir. He got roughed up pretty good. Here it is.
That's a good call. I believe that will be enforced
at the kickoff.
Yeah, after the kickoff. The extra point on the way.
We're going to have a chance to look at that replay as soon as we see the extra point here.
Bit of a high snap, but nicely corralled, and that kick is good. That cuts the lead in half. 14-7, Placer leads.
Now watch this. You can see good deception. He's standing back there. Everybody thinks it's a running play, including our cameraman. But ball gets out very accurately.
Yeah, there's the hit way after the fact.
Down the sideline.
Yeah, there's one block upfield. That was just enough to slow up Johnny Callahan.
And boy, he just burns past him, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Callahan was tied up with one receiver. That was the only man back. And just an excellent, excellent play, well executed by the Colfax Falcons. So Colfax will kick off. They cut the lead in half, 14-7 Placer, here on the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
The Northridge Restaurant in Nevada City is your closest Northridge to Grass Valley. At 737 Nevada Street, the Northridge in Nevada City is a comfortable family restaurant you'll be happy to go to. Make reservations or take out.
With 3 locations to serve you in Nevada City, Lake of the Pines, and Penn Valley, you are just a few minutes away from a Northridge restaurant. Visit us online at northridgerestaurant.com.
Back here on the campus of Colfax High School, Colfax will kick off after the 15-yard roughing the passer penalty. They'll kick off from the Placer 45. We'll see if he tries to spin this, do something silly, or if he just tries to put it through the goalpost. He's just got to try and put it through the goalpost. And he was wide right by about 20 yards, but had the distance.
So we'll see if Colfax back on defense now can mount a wall against what we've seen so far as a very, very good Hillmen offense.
Yeah, minus that last drive where Colfax really stood up and took away a lot of the run options. Although with the wing tee, you never know. That could just be good guessing. There's a handoff to Kerrigan. Kerrigan's trying to swing right, and he is tackled after a very short gain.
Good play. I'm watching the pile get up here. That was number 22 on the tackle. That's Markovia. And, you know, he came in from the backside, actually ran him down.
Well, Avila's got some speed. He kept up with a wide receiver a little too well on that pass interference call, but if you can keep up with a wide receiver running a route, you've got some good wheels. 2nd and 8, man in motion. That's going to be a sweeping handoff that fooled just about everyone to Dallin Trentman, and Trentman is brought down. Picked up about 6. That'll bring up 3rd and 3. Well, Colfax is doing a pretty good job standing up on these runs.
Clearly made an adjustment after that first series.
Yeah, Stuck's only attempted, I believe, 3 passes. 1 pass interference, 1 tipped at the line, and 1 complete pass. See if maybe they put this through the air on a quick slant or an out route. That's a late handoff to Kerrigan around the right side. He's going to cut back up, and he will get the first down by about a yard. Good effort by Kerrigan, knowing exactly how many yards he needed to get.
Good deception in the backfield. Kerrigan getting a little bit of room and a block on the right side.
And that's what the wing tee is designed to do when you need a couple yards. You pull out a weird kind of screwy play with a lot of movement in the backfield, so you don't quite know who has the ball. And with that 3rd down conversion, the first quarter comes to a close. Placer Hillmen lead the Colfax Falcons 14-7 here on your NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com. Back at Colfax High School, start of the second quarter. The Falcons trail the Placer Hillmen 14-7. But the Falcons are looking pretty good on defense. There's a lot of motion, and everyone on Placer, of course, is pointing at everyone on Colfax.
I think it was number 51 for the Falcons.
Yeah, Connor McShane immediately assumed the push-up position. That generally means that he did something wrong, and that is going to be offside. So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 5. Colfax was showing pressure up the middle on that one. He's got a little too amped up at the start of the quarter. Placer will go back to grinding it out. And there's the pass from Stuck across wide open, and that is Anthony Kerrigan. Kerrigan tries to cut back, and he's got 2 Falcons to bring him down.
Kerrigan has a little extracurricular there at the end. He's better watch himself. But a beautiful pass play. Kerrigan, the running back, the junior, out there really all by himself. Nobody picked him up.
Yeah, that was just a case of Kerrigan outrunning his defender. If he didn't have to slow up to make that catch, if he catches that in stride, that's an easy touchdown. So 1st and 10, handoff to Trentman. Trentman up the left. He's going to try and cut back and get a little extra yard. He's still up. And there is going to be a very late hit on the end of that play.
Flags go up.
That's a frustration penalty right there. Kerrigan was hit at the line of scrimmage.
Let's watch this pass play.
Trentman, excuse me.
And I'll tell you, it's nicely done. He's got plenty of time. Throws out a perfect pass. Up the field they go. Good first down by the Placer Hillmen.
And back to live action. That penalty was actually against Placer. A personal foul at the end of that play. So instead of a late hit, well, it still may have been a late hit on a defender.
Trentman in the backfield still.
So instead of on the 5-yard line, or excuse me, on the 10-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 on the 25. That penalty backs them right out of the red zone.
In the backfield now, Rains Robinson.
That's Kerrigan with the ball now. He cuts left, shakes off one tackle, picks up a couple extra yards. We'll end up with about 6 on that one. Again, this is only Kerrigan's 3rd game as a running back for Placer. He's getting a majority of the carries. Mario Perez really hasn't done too much. Here's 2nd and 4. They're back in the red zone.
This is Morgan Rain Robinson.
Yeah, Rain Robinson will, or excuse me, Trentman will bull his way forward for. No, you were right, Morgan Rain Robinson.
Yeah, he's a big boy. They put him in the, usually give him the lead blocking assignment. He's the one that clears it out. At that time, it was a quick handoff. They just let him get a few yards.
There are 3 running backs for Placer, numbers 22, 24, and 42. So there's a lot of 2s and 4s out there. So Rain Robinson does pick up a few. There's 3rd and 1. That's a handoff to Perez, and Perez is going to
be close.
Yeah, he's going to lose a yard.
So maybe it's going to be 4th down. Can't imagine they're not going to go for it.
Unless they have a lot of faith in their kicker. Which I don't see a kicking unit coming out there. It's going to be 4th and, call it 2.
10-10 left in the second quarter here. This is a big play for the Colfax Falcons. They really need this stop, 2 yards.
Kerrigan's going to be the wide left receiver. Up straight ahead to Rain Robinson. Robinson hit at the line, bowls his way forward, and I believe he got it. He did.
Yep, sure enough.
Very close. He just put his head down and picked up 3 yards.
Rain Robinson played like a buffalo, just put his head down and just marched forward, pushing the defense ahead of him.
5'11", 225 senior. That'll be 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line. Colfax has at least slowed down the big run play. Stacking the line. A lot of movement, a lot of flags.
I think that one's going to be on Placer. Let's see. I think there's some movement. Number 68, I believe.
This might be encroachment. It's going to be a false start, yeah.
Leland Addison, number 68.
This is exactly what happened. Connor McShane jumped but didn't make contact, got back into position, and then an offensive lineman for Placer picked his arm up. So I thought that may have been encroachment on McShane, forcing that.
That's a big break.
That movement.
That's a big break for the Falcons.
It really is. That pushes Placer back to the 20.
Pass.
And here's
All by himself.
All by himself. That is an easy touchdown reception for Anthony Kerrigan.
Wow. Kerrigan went right through the line. Nobody picked him up. Found himself all by himself waving at the quarterback. That is a hole in Colfax's defense, clearly.
And you have to wonder, this is Kerrigan's 3rd game. He missed the first 3 games of the season. You have to wonder how many of those losses were because Anthony Kerrigan was not suited up. And the extra point attempt on the way. Kick is good. And that will extend Placer's lead to 21-7. The Hillmen offensive machine continues to roll here at Colfax High School on the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Back at live action, here's the kickoff. 21-7 Placer leads. This is going to be taken by Mark Avila. He's going to take his time getting to the near sidelines, and then he's going to dive forward. Gets out to about the 27-yard line. And Colfax just can't catch a break when it comes to starting field position. They have to earn every yard.
Colfax is smart here. They'll work their way down the field here, burn a little bit of this clock. 9 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Desperately need a score, but they also need to find something that just works for them. They might go back to the passing game, Steve.
It worked very well for them on their last possession. They have 2 wide here. And Weir steps up. And steps up again. Falls away from pressure. He's going to be dropped for a 1-yard loss. Gang tackle there, Logan Moore and Guillermo Morfin. They will each get credit for half a sack on that one.
Moore looked over the field. He looks over the field and does a really good job of keeping his composure. There it is there. When he has no receiver available, tries to get a couple of yards.
I guess that really was all Morfin. There's the 2nd and 11. Weir handoff and a big hit.
Number 44 for Placer.
Chase Laguna Scott.
Boy, Laguna Scott put it on him, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, hit him right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be no gain, 3rd and 11.
So now the Falcons forced to go to the air. Really haven't seen a running play go for 11 tonight.
No, not too much. And coming into the game, Colfax's runners were averaging about 9 yards. And Weir's going to scramble right. Spins around. He's going to be taken down about 5 yards short.
And look at the Placer sidelines just going crazy. They know they've got themselves another stop. 4th down now.
4th and 4. Let's see what Colfax does. Weir coming over looking for a play. And that's going to be a punt. No one back for Placer, and now we have 2 Hillmen running out for the reception. Punt will be from the 23-yard line.
There's a hold out here on the right.
Bit of a spinner. That's going to be caught and brought back to the left side. That's Hugh Hansen. Hugh Hansen's going to get a nice pickup on the punt return.
One man got him down there. That was number 60, I believe. Steve, let's see as he's coming in. He
Brendan
deserves
Slattery.
the credit. Slattery was the last guy standing out there, got him by the ankles and would not let go. Nice job.
So Placer starts on their own 45-yard line, and that's actually an average field position start for the Hillmen tonight. They've started from just about everywhere on the field. And Colfax, they want to stay in this game. They need to stop here.
Flag on the play. Yeah. He's all by himself.
Stuck
Good
his,
gravy. There is nobody in 40 yards.
Carter Benz walks in. We'll see what this flag is.
What is that about? I mean, there wasn't anybody in the right hemisphere.
And it's going to be a Placer penalty. Looked like an illegal shift of all things.
Well, I don't know what the safety was. If they had the safety up and blitzing, maybe we can. Let's take a look. Here's the replay. So where is the safety? The safety's got his hands on his hips here, Steve, at the top of your screen, and they're just watching this ball release. And look, there isn't anybody. This is a pitch and catch. You know, when I played football, I would have dropped that one. But it is all for naught.
No, the illegal shift. Instead of a 45-yard touchdown pass, it's a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 on their own 40. What a break for the Falcons.
In fact, I was known for dropping those. So let's see if the Falcons can make an adjustment on their defensive backfield.
Now this is going to be an inside handoff, bowled forward about 6 yards with Mario Perez. Second and 9.
So let's look at this illegal shift, Steve, which is what saved the touchdown for the Falcons. I don't see much there, but you see at the top of your screen, the receiver just taking off by himself.
Back to live action. This is a handoff to Kerrigan. Kerrigan's going to get a first down and about 5 more.
What's that? No.
Another very shifty misdirection run. There were about 3 Hillmen who could have had the ball, and they were all running north-south. This time it was Kerrigan, and Kerrigan will get it down to the Colfax 41-yard line. Not as pretty as those wide open passes, but it gets the job done.
Hugh Hansen, number 15.
Placer kind of taking their time on this play. Quick snap. Stuck's got it. Stuck throwing deep.
Here's Hansen.
A lot of coverage, and that is almost picked off. Very dangerous pass. Almost picked off by Mason Aarons.
Boy, Hugh Hansen, he is a very tall, very athletic player.
6'3", 205,
yeah.
tight end.
He's a tight end, and I'll tell you, he runs very, very well for a tight end. There it is there. Darn near comes down with this ball over his right shoulder, right here.
Well, this time Colfax had about 4 defensive backs in there for 1 receiver. Now, that was excellently defended. Either player could have come up with it.
Second down.
2nd and 10. Late handoff to Kerrigan on the left side. Kerrigan pulls up, shoots through a hole, keeps his feet, and picks up 5 more. Now, Kerrigan's got the moves for sure. Haven't seen too much in the way of out-and-out speed, but he definitely has that talent for shooting through holes in the line. That brings up 3rd and 4. And Colfax in position to make another big stop. Handoff to Avila, or Rain Robinson, excuse me. And Rain Robinson is not going to make it. He's going to be short by 1. Well, 4th and 1 on the 32-yard line. And I think you go for it if you're Placer.
Oh, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, if you've got to stop somewhere in your bag, this is the time to pull it out if you're the Falcons.
Well, Colfax has managed to get men in the backfield on a couple occasions. They're showing blitz. And it's a handoff to Perez. Perez is going to just get the first down, and then he spins out for a few more.
Boy, Perez showed some grit on that one.
He got hit at about the line of scrimmage, forced his way across the first down line, and then spun out of the pack. I don't think I've ever seen a running back do that. That moves Placer up to the 25-yard line, and it will also eat up some time. And the referees are going to take a timeout now. This is going to be an equipment timeout, it looks like. While we sort out who that is, I believe that's Connor McShane. I think his helmet just got pulled off.
So with 4 minutes left in the half, Placer looking to extend their lead and really put the dagger in that much deeper. I'm not impressed with the fact that the Falcons can actually generate enough offense to dig themselves out of this hole.
And in motion, this is going to be a sneaky inside handoff, and the play is finally whistled down after a gain of 5. Not sure who came up with that one. I think that may have been Trentman again. Yeah, Trentman rolled out of that one last. So they'll give him 4 on that, make it 2nd and 6. Just outside the Colfax red zone. Kerrigan pulls up, shoots up the middle, and a nice tackle by number 22, Mark Avila. He is just everywhere at all times. Avila did a good job of wrapping the hips of Kerrigan. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Colfax keeps setting themselves up to make a stop in their own territory, and Placer just keeps grinding out the yards.
Inside handoff.
And that was Mario Perez. Perez is going to be a couple yards short of the first down. So make it 4th and 2. And Perez, who came into this game averaging about 5 yards a carry, really hasn't generated too much.
They've been using him as a grinder, getting a lot of inside handoffs.
Now they've got Trentman, Perez, Rain Robinson, and Kerrigan all out on the field. Any of those players could get a handoff. Placer kind of late to the line. And it's going to be Perez. No, that's Rain Robinson, and Rain Robinson runs over 2 Falcons and gets to the 6-yard line.
Now you see why they've got him in the backfield there, Steve. Not a lot of agility. He's a straight line runner, but he puts his head down, and he is a load coming through that line.
A truck isn't very agile either, but I still couldn't tackle it.
You bet. Every team needs one of those to get the yard when you need it.
1st and goal on the 6. And that is Rain Robinson.
Look at him.
He's still got his feet moving. He's going to be dragged down by 3 Falcons at the 2-yard line.
Look at the way he tucked that ball away. Everybody was pulling at the football. He had both hands on it, tight to his chest. That's good coaching.
2nd and goal on the 2-yard line. Cameron Bemis in wide left. And hit in the backfield, Mario Perez. He's going to be hit for a big loss.
Wow.
The Falcons finally punched a hole through the line.
And that was one fine play. That's number 8, Zane McDade. Wow. Just when the Falcons need something. Zane's father's right below us here, Derek, and proud of his boy on that play.
That's a 4-yard loss. That's going to push Placer all the way back to the 6-yard line. Clock still counting down. We're at 35 seconds. That's going to be a sweeping handoff to Kerrigan. Kerrigan tries to get a block set up, dives for the end zone, and he is in.
Kerrigan just kept going outside, stringing out the defense. Finally gets a little bit of a hole and dives in right at the cone.
Hunter Klopotek was the Falcon closest to Kerrigan, and he just could not make contact soon enough to prevent that end zone dive. 27-7. Hillmen over the Falcons. The extra point is up and good with 24 seconds left in the second quarter.
Here's a replay, and we'll see it. Watch him string out the defense. It literally boils down to a 2-on-2. 2 defenders, 2 offensive players.
Exactly.
And watch. He waits, strings them out. Stutter step, waits, strings them out. Now right here he sees a hole, and he goes for the cone. And gets in there. Nicely done. That's impressive.
He really had to extend. That was a very technical couple of seconds waiting for that play to kind of flesh itself out. And once Kerrigan got to the left side, it was like everyone on Colfax and Placer went, okay, you two guys, take care of it. And Placer just happened to have enough space to make it happen. 28-7, the Hillmen lead the Falcons with 24 seconds left in the second quarter. So you'd expect some sort of squib kick here. Maybe you can just kick it out of bounds. If you're Placer, don't let Colfax run it back, get some sort of miracle play before the half. And let's not forget, Colfax will get the first possession of the second half. They won the toss and chose to defer. See what kind of kick it is. It is a little pooch spinner kick, fair caught at the 35-yard line.
So the Falcons will get one play from scrimmage with 24 seconds left. They may just decide to take a knee.
Well, in theory, they have all 3 timeouts. You got a good quarterback in Austin Weir. And, oh no, it's going to be offsides. So we'll kick it again.
You know, I wouldn't fair catch this ball. I'd try to get a return of some kind.
Yeah, it shows you the confidence that they show. And I guess this wasn't offsides. This was just a do-over. So the referees call take backsies on the squib kick. And this is a deep line drive kick. It will be caught at the 10-yard line by Mark Avila. Avila tries to stiff arm Lewis Fudge, and Fudge spins him hard to the ground.
Great play by Lewis, wrapping him up and throwing him to the ground. How he got there, he wasn't even blocked.
Well, that was just a straight cover. And even on a line drive kick, with not a whole lot of time for Placer to get downfield, Colfax still has to start this drive on their own 23-yard line. And it doesn't look like they're taking a knee. This is a 3-wide setup. One man in the backfield. We're rolling. Pressure. Hit from behind, and that's going to be a sack. In on that were Morgan Rain Robinson and Devin Toasty.
Not the way you want to end the first half.
Well, Colfax will get the first possession as time winds down 1. And there's the end of the first half. 28-7. Placer leads Colfax, but Colfax will get the first possession of the second half. Oh, we said this was going to be an offensive game, and it has. 35 points in the first half. Placer will kick off here to start the second half when we come back on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
Thank you, Doug. Saving the whole rodeo.
Welcome back to Marson Field on the campus of Colfax High School. Just about to start the second half with the Placer Hillmen leading the Colfax Falcons 28-7, but Colfax will be receiving this opening kickoff of the second half. It'll be a short little pooch kick that'll be caught at the 26-yard line. And it'll be a 5-yard return. Well, maybe a 6 or 7-yard return by Jared Aljubi. 6 foot 225 lineman. Not exactly the first guy you want returning kicks, but
he did catch the ball, though, Steve. Give him credit.
He caught it and got about 5 yards afterwards.
I'm sure Jared doesn't get that many chances to handle the ball. So Colfax basically is down to it. They need to score, and they need to score quickly, get back in this game and prove that they belong here.
Pretty quick to the line. And this is going to be whistled down. I believe this is going to be a false start. I think some of the linemen jumped just a little soon. Yep, Colfax is backing up. So first play from scrimmage will be a 1st and 15 on their own 26, just when he thought they would start a possession beyond their 30-yard line. They pushed themselves right back to it. So here's the 1st and 15 play. There's Weir, straight across to Van Dorn. Van Dorn will pick up about 7 yards on the completion. Make it 2nd at about 8.
That pass looks like it's open all night. Van Dorn just drove back his defender, turned around. The ball was delivered nicely.
We'll see if that West Coast offense continues. And there's going to be some more flags.
I think this one's on Placer this time. I think it's encroachment. Let's see. No, it's going to go against Colfax again.
Yeah, another false start. So 1st and 15 to 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 13. Just hovering around that 30-yard line. And so far, Colfax through the air has been fantastic. I've got 3 wide, 1 in the backfield, and there's a lot of motion yet again.
I do believe it was number 76. They haven't got something's going on there. Trevor Siri.
So that is 3 false starts
in 4 plays.
In 2 plays, officially. Well, technically 1.
Technically, I suppose that's true, but
I was going to march it back even further. 2nd and 18. And now they're back at their own 23-yard line again. Weir fakes the handoff straight across, and that was intended for Nick Van Dorn, who never turned around. It actually hit him in the arm.
Boy, it was a really well-done pass play, too. Van Dorn, all he needed to do was look over his shoulder.
Yep.
The ball was delivered perfectly.
Kind of a soft slant route up the middle.
Van Dorn would have caught the ball in full stride.
As evidenced by the fact that he didn't see it at all and it hit him in the hand. Oh, make it 3rd and 18. And Weir has not thrown a bad pass tonight. Slowly in motion. Fake handoff. We're rolling right. Gets the pass off, and that's going to be well over the head of Garen O'Keefe.
They're calling for a pass interference, but that ball wasn't close to being catchable.
Now, Colin Wright was in coverage, but you're absolutely right, Paul. There was no chance that anyone was catching that except maybe the far referee. So 2 Hillmen back for the punt. Anthony Kerrigan and Caleb Wilson. So 3 false start penalties on the opening drive of the second half. pretty much doomed it from the first. Low snap, but caught and away. Kind of a corkscrewy punt. That's going to roll nicely for Colfax. And pretty deep field position, although a late flag is going to be coming in from the far referee. I have a feeling this is going to be a sideline infraction, as there was really no contact of any kind.
Yeah, nothing going on over there. It had to be something, maybe a warning.
Either that or something like an illegal receiver downfield, or not sideline infraction. That was going to be against Placer. It'll be a warning the first time. And we saw this last week at Nevada Union, 2 sideline infractions within the first 5 minutes of the game. That was against Del Oro. Not that that was a make or break kind of scenario for the Golden Eagles over at Nevada Union. So fairly deep field position now for the Hillmen on their own 37-yard line. Starts with an inside handoff to Dallin Trentman, and Trentman will pick up 3 more yards.
Let's face it, if the Falcons are going to get back in this game, they're going to need some help from the Hillmen. The Hillmen are going to have to cough the ball and turn it over for the Falcons. Quick play off to the left side, bouncing to the outside and getting nothing.
That was Trentman once again, and he, I believe, got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 7. Just taking a look at Placer's stats, and Trentman does not have a carry coming into tonight's game.
So this is a new idea. Clearly they found somebody to carry the football and clear out the holes. 3rd down.
Yeah, Stuck's rolling right. Throws across his body. Diving for it was Hugh Hansen, and it went through his hands. That is a very tough pass to come up with. A very awkward dive from Hansen as well.
But more importantly, the Falcons hold, and there will be a punt now. Placer will have to give it up on downs. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, Steve, but do you feel like the energy in the game is slowed?
It is definitely slowed. Both defenses really came alive during the, well, Colfax's offense was the best defense on their drive. Punt is almost blocked. A line drive of a kick. That's going to be caught at the 26-yard line. And there's some running room for Mason Ahrens. And Ahrens loses the ball, picked up by Placer.
Holy cow, just when they start to get something going.
Late flag coming in, too. Mario Perez was the Hillman who came up with that. There is a very late flag coming in. And this could very well be some sort of retaliatory penalty from Colfax, as that is the second time right after a punt that the ball has been fumbled by the Falcons. We'll take a look at what this is. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Placer. So this could be anything from taunting to a certain word being said where a referee's in earshot. Or it could be a lot of things. So they're going to jot down the number of the offending player, as another unsportsmanlike conduct will be an ejection. And then we'll know for sure who it was. Well, Placer still recovers.
Here's a replay on that. You know, and he gets past that first defender. Looks like he's got some room. Right now where he needs to accelerate, and he's looking for a hole, but he's carrying the ball out there like a loaf of bread. And it gets stripped right out of his hands.
Devin Tosti is the one who came up with the strip, and Mario Perez comes up with the ball. So after the 15-yard penalty, Placer will have it on their own 46-yard line. And here's the throw from Stuck. Stuck going deep, man wide open, and he can't come up with the catch. That was Carter Benz, the intended receiver, just about 2 yards out in front of him.
And, you know, Benz, if he had stretched out for it, might have gotten his fingers on it, but once again, at least that time, the Falcons had a defender on Benz.
That would have had to have been a very, very precise throw. Tried to drop it in there, more of a touch pass, really. It was a really deep touch pass. Second and 10 for the Hillmen. Late handoff to Kerrigan. Kerrigan on the left side. He's going to cut back, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for a couple. So 3rd and long again for Placer. Placer has punted the ball twice tonight. On the first play from Colfax, after the first punt, they fumbled. And on the second punt, they fumble in the recovery. Each time the defense comes up with a stop, they give the ball right back.
A general lack of enthusiasm right now, Steve. I think that Placer feels like this is already in the win column.
Well, it's a 3-possession game in the second half.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, that's a win, but you really want to be certain, especially first game of the PVL, and there's going to be a timeout from Placer as there was some confusion in the backfield as to what the play really was. So the first timeout of the second half is taken by the Hillmen. Score remains 28-7 here in the second half on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
Measure L
is a $98 million general bond creating local funds for Placer County schools.
Measure L
Authorizes improvements in classrooms, is strictly monitored by an independent citizens committee with no money for salaries, pensions, or benefits.
Measure L
Is an investment in our future, creating safer communities, increased property values, and an educated workforce.
Back at Colfax High School, the Falcons trail the Placer Hillmen 28-7. Here's 3rd and 8 for the Hillmen. Stuck back to pass. Quick screen across and complete. Wide open, a lot of running room for Kerrigan. Kerrigan beats one man, and he is going to go all the way for a Placer Hillmen touchdown.
Beautifully conceived play, fooled the defense completely. They bought into the rollout to the right, back to a quick screen on the left, and just nobody out there to stop Kerrigan. Wow, I'm surprised, Steve. I really thought Colfax was going to put up more of a struggle than this.
That's a really tough play to defend on the wing tee because you want to get penetration deep to disrupt any sort of late handoffs, but if you get too deep, then you leave that screen wide open, especially if Placer keeps pushing downfield like they did on that play. Extra point is up and good. Lead extends to 35-7. Placer putting on an offensive show, which is really what we were expecting from Colfax. We expected this to be Colfax offense against the Placer defense. It has been the exact opposite.
You were expecting it, Steve. I wasn't. I thought Colfax was going to struggle, but here's the replay. Now watch him sell this. And look at how many gray jerseys are out there. After the quarterback, nobody stays home.
The entire line.
Nobody stays home on the right. And that is just wide open for the screen to go the distance.
Yeah, Mason Aaron's the only back. Could not catch Anthony Kerrigan. Lead is 35-7. Placer over Colfax here at Marson Field on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com. Back at Colfax High School, the Falcons taking on the Placer Hillmen. Placer leads 35-7. They're all set to kick off after another Anthony Kerrigan touchdown. And the kick on its way, a line drive kick. That's going to be caught at about the 28-yard line. And that ball looks like it came out after the play. And Colfax will hang on to it. That'll be another 5 or so yards on the return. And Colfax gets pretty good field position.
Jacob Lahalle again getting the field to wall. He's got to know that if his blockers are on the right, you follow the blockers. That time he went left.
Well, he is a lineman. I think he can be forgiven. Inside handoff, ball comes out. Picked up again by the running back. Excellent recovery. And that actually turned into a pretty good run for 6 yards. That was Mark Avila.
Mark Avila, like a shortstop, picked that ball up on the bounce.
Yeah, that was really well done. That could have gone south in a hurry. 2 fumbles already lost by the Falcons in this game. Avila manages to recover 1 and pick up 6 yards in the process. 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line. Weir, lone backfield, throws across. High throw, incomplete, intended for Mark Avila. And Weir short-armed that one.
He had a number of receivers he could have gone to if he had waited another 2 counts. Breaking into the open was Jake Green down the middle.
Yeah, Weir just trying to put some air on the ball to get it over the center linebacker, put too much on it. And it's 3rd and 4. Weir again. Quick curl route complete. Very close to the first down. That is Nick Van Dorn. Van Dorn hit very hard on the way down, but that will be good enough for a first down for Colfax.
Good pass play just when they need it here. 3rd down, moves the chains. Brings a round of applause from the parents around us here.
Signs of life from the Colfax stands. They really haven't had too much to cheer for in this first half. I believe that's the first down for Colfax in this half. 6:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 4 wide, 1 in the backfield. And Weir hands it off. And that run play will get 2 yards. I believe that was Avila. That was Aarons. Aarons picks up a couple. And boy, Aarons and Avila's yards per carry is going to go way down after this game is over. Together, they were averaging about 9 yards per carry. I think that's going to go down by a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Weir hit as he throws across the middle, in the air, and that is on the ground, almost picked off by Aiden Barnhart.
Boy, Aiden saw it coming. He just had that one just go right through his fingers. Ball was tipped up in the air.
And that was another designed curl route at the first down line. Just hit off a shoulder pad and shot straight up. That is a quarterback's worst nightmare. So 3rd and 8. 3 wide, single back. We're quickly across, complete.
No!
To Nick Van Dorn, and Van Dorn is dropped by Kabongo Scott.
He certainly is. Kabongo Scott put a shoulder into his numbers. Okay, here's a tip play. You can see this. You know, Peyton Manning contends that if they're tipped like this, they shouldn't be considered an interception by the quarterback because it is so easy to pick off. If they go up in the air like that, it's anybody's ball. Most of the time it goes into the hands of the defense.
Actually, it looked like it was off the hands of Mark Avila. Really hard bounce off of the hands. And here's the 4th and 3 play. Colfax is going for it. 3 wide and delay of game.
They didn't need that.
Took too long getting to the line, making sure the play was just right. And it's going to go from 3 to 8. Well, 5 minutes left now in the 3rd quarter. 35-7, Placer leads. 4th and 8, Colfax in a 4-possession game pretty much has to go for it, and they will. Finally, some cracks in the armor of the passing game. Here's Weir. Weir throws across, and a big completion.
Wow, great
Huge hit by Nick Van Dorn.
But a fantastic catch. That's number 20.
Excuse me, Hunter Klopotek.
Klopotek looked that ball right in. Now watch him look that ball in, get his hands up there, catch it, and he holds on even in the face of a heck of a hit right there. Boom!
Yeah, he paid the price for it.
But he kept it. in his possession.
Big
first down.
Fourth down conversion. Weir steps up, throws the screen, complete, and room to run down to the 20-yard line. Rolls over the safety. Let's see who that is. That was number 29, Mason Aarons, finally getting a chance to get his name called on the offensive side of the ball. Big catch, big carry.
And so there's life in the Falcon sideline here. Some offense being generated, 2 excellent pass plays.
It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 14. Crowd chanting Mason Aarons' name. Late on the field is Mark Avila. 2 back, 3 wide. Just get the play off. Weir throws to the corner, has a man, and it's incomplete.
Just throws it over his head. I thought there was a little pushing and shoving there going on, but officials right on it. Out there to defend is Cooper Wilkins, number 14.
I believe Hunter Klopotek was the intended receiver on that pass. That was another design play, just taking a shot for the end zone. There's about 3 yards between the first down line and the goal line. And Colfax is going to have to take their first time out of the second half. Interesting play calling now from the Colfax sidelines. They mix it up, go to the West Coast offense, but they still trail 35-7 on the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
With nearly 30 years of proudly serving our community, Auburn Toyota is expanding to offer more new Toyota inventory than ever before. Chances are we have the exact Toyota model you want, ready for you to drive home today. With many years of combined sales experience and hundreds of new Toyota cars, trucks, 4x4s, and SUVs, now is the perfect time to buy at Auburn Toyota. Come see why for generations Foothill Toyota buyers buy from Auburn Toyota, which is why we like to say Auburn Toyota is the place where the customers come back.
2nd and 10 for the Falcons on the 13-yard line of Placer. Placer leads this game 35-7. 4 minutes, 16 seconds left in the third quarter. So the play starts. And a very late handoff. Left side. Very close. Spins around and a Colfax touchdown. Mason Aarons.
And Mason Aarons did the job from the 5-yard line in. Looked off his defender, made a little spin move, and figured out a way to get in that end zone instead of going down on the 1.
And Paul, I just noticed this. In at quarterback was Ryland Hyman. Austin Ware nowhere to be found. So a big change in the locker room for Colfax. They're going to their backup quarterback in Ryland Hyman. And at least in this drive, it pays off for a touchdown for the Falcons. Extra point attempt is up.
And good.
Good by about 30 yards. 35-14, Placer leads.
Down by 18 points now, making it respectable. Here's a replay. Now watch this move right here. Typically you'll see the running back get caught and go down at the 1. But watch him spin and then really fight for that goal line, that last little bit.
Just spun away from Johnny Callahan. That's what that was.
Nicely done.
And 35-14 is the score on the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
The Dive is the newest family-friendly restaurant in Lake of the Pines. Their entire menu of burgers, salads, and sandwiches are available for dining in or to take home. Featuring a selection of beer and wines, they also offer catering services for your next event with their new food truck, Dive on the Go. It's The Dive in Lake of the Pines on Comby Road and dineatthedive.com.
Back at Colfax High School, the Falcons taking on the Placer Hillmen. Placer leads 35-14, but Colfax just gets their first touchdown of the second half with 4:09 left in the third quarter, and Colfax set to kick off.
So Ryland Heyman is now in for quarterback for Austin Weir. And Steve, I don't see that Weir did a bad job. I don't think, certainly he's not throwing badly. They may just interchange them from time to time. I'm not sure what the story is.
Well, in hockey, even if a goalie's not doing too badly, if his defense is letting him down, they'll swap goalies. There's an onside kick, and that's tipped. That has a chance to be recovered.
And they got it.
How about that? 4:05 left. The onside kick works.
There's some fight left in this Colfax dog, I'll tell you. They're not going to give this thing and lay down. 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and they onside kick it.
And how about that? Best field position of the game for Colfax on the Placer 47.
Now, Placer Hillmen need to wake up. This game is not in the books yet.
No, you're exactly right, Paul. They caught Placer asleep, and I was wondering beforehand when we were going to see that, if we were ever going to see it, and that was a good time for it. Now, Austin Weir back in at quarterback. And here's the pass from Ahrens, and that's caught. Mason Ahrens out to Garen O'Keefe.
Oh. Now watch here's the onside kick, and they're not looking for it. Watch this, defenders are backing up. When the defenders are backing up, you got a hole there that you can kick into.
It got tipped by Will Tupin.
And Tupin just can't field the ball on the ground.
Tupin listed as a wide receiver defensive back, but he got a stone hand on it. At that point, it was all Falcons swarming around it.
And the Falcons, with the halfback pass now, have advanced the ball down to the 25, 26-yard line.
That's Hyman in at quarterback.
Oh.
And lots of motion. 3 flags for the same false start.
And the entire sideline groans as we see them march backwards. You know, a guard like that, I mean, the ball's right there, Steve. Why a guard would jump off sides, I'm not sure.
It was just a really convincing hard count. We can't hear it from up here, and maybe Hyman just sold it. Well, they're still discussing this. They haven't moved the ball back yet as Colfax jumps to the line. Now they're going to have to jump back. I think they were trying to catch the referees asleep. Still waiting on the referee's whistle. And there it is. Clock will start climbing down. Hyman still in a quarterback, 1st and 15. And that's a handoff to Avila. Avila right side. He's going to get some pretty good yardage. In close to the first down marker. He'll be short by about 3 yards. So not a bad play on 1st and 15.
No, it looks like you got about 12 yards, Steve, on the right-hand side. Where did this energy come from the Falcons? All of a sudden, they just basically woke up. If they can put another score on the scoreboard, they're back in it.
Yeah, Hyman's still in at quarterback. It'll be 2nd and 5. Two wide, tight end on the left side. Hyman back to throw. Pumps, fakes, throws high.
There's a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be either a hold or a pass interference. Either way, it's going to be on Placer. I believe that's going to be on Johnny Callahan. Well, Callahan is just having a tough game at safety.
So that'll march them forward 15 yards or halfway to the goal. I believe that'll put them on about the 10-yard line, Steve. We'll have to see where they place it.
The ball right now is on the 20. That's going to be pass interference. Half the distance will put them on the 10. So that will be another first down.
So you can see it here on the replay. And there's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of hands, a lot of pulling and pushing.
As we get back to live action, it's 1st and goal on the 10. Hyman still in at quarterback. I formation. Thought there might have been a false start there. Some room for Avila on the right side. He hops back. Tried to dive for the pylon, but he got stopped short by about 3 yards.
So the Falcons cannot make a first down. It is that was 1st and goal. And it looks like he got down to what, the 2?
Yeah, I think they're going to spot this at the 2. We're inside 3 minutes now in the third quarter. How big is that onside kick recovery? So 2nd and goal on the 2.
Straight up the middle.
They're going to try and go through the left guard, and Placer stands him up. Stands him up, drives him back, and they do get the touchdown.
They're going to say broke the plane. Boy, I'll tell you.
Kabongo Scott is pleading with the side judge, saying, you saw he didn't get in. And the side judge is saying nothing of the sort. It was the far referee who made the touchdown call. He had the worst angle at it. The other side judge is not going to overrule him.
So the Falcons come up with 2 straight scores quickly here.
That was huge. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And that will move the score up 35-21. We got ourselves a football game.
So let's look at this scrum. Did they push it over? And
Boy,
he's
so
driving, and I'll tell you what, if he did, it wasn't by a whole heck of a lot.
Well, that was Mason Aarons lowering his shoulder and just breaking the plane of the end zone. 35-21. Colfax trails the Placer Hillmen on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
It's the fall project sale at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. Fall is the perfect time to finish your projects before the winter weather sets in. Their monthly circular is always available as you enter the store and in the Union newspaper. Serving Nevada County since 1940, it's B&C True Value Home and Garden Center, where behind every project is a true value.
Back at Colfax High School, the Falcons score yet again, and they close the lead. It's now a 2-possession game, 35-21. See if they try the onside kick again. I'm sure Placer will be.
They don't dare.
They'll be more open to it.
They did.
They went for it, and that's going to be swallowed after it travels about 7 yards by number 68, Leland Addison.
And that didn't go far enough, I don't think. Now, if Addison had touched the ball, even had it not gone 10 yards and bounced off of him, it still would have been a live ball, but not a well-executed onside kick.
It was close. They were really trying to play the bounce there, hoping it would kick up in the air. It just stayed down. Took kind of a weird sideways bounce, and that was the 3 yards right there. They were really trying to cut it close. The Placer has it on the Colfax 46-yard line. Quick inside handoff falling forward is Mario Perez. He will pick up about 5.
I know.
So if I recall, Steve, I think this is only the 3rd possession in the quarter that Placer has had. I'm not sure they've had a first down.
They did have that very long touchdown. There's 2nd and 4. Easy handoff, and bowling his way forward is Mario Perez. This time he picks up about 10. Well, there's the Placer first down you were talking about. They grind that out to the 31-yard line. Perez just running over linemen. At 6', 215, you can do that.
Yeah, right. Too late now.
There's a handoff to Kerrigan. Kerrigan finds a hole. He's going to be dragged down by his jersey by Zane McDade. And that stopped a potentially huge gain by Kerrigan. He'll set up 2nd and 5.
Colfax defense needs to make a stand.
Well, McDade made a pretty good stop there, but it's going to take more than one person.
I don't mean to sound obvious, but right here they need to buck up and they need to get a hold.
Yeah, the clock is not their friend. There's Perez. Perez tries to run through the defensive back Mason Aarons, but Aarons holds on and drags him to the ground. Perez still gets a first down, and now we see Mario Perez picking up 5 yards carry.
So that'll move the chains. First down in the red zone.
And I've got it on the 17-yard line with a minute left in the 3rd quarter. And there's Rain Robinson. Rain Robinson wrestled to the ground, maybe gets a yard. Andrew Tejada on the stop. Tejada, one of the defensive linemen that have been more or less pushed around tonight, comes up with a pretty big stop there in the red zone. It'll be 2nd and 10. 30 seconds left. This is a run play. It will be the final play of the third quarter.
He's in.
Yeah, he's going to at least stop the clock. That was Rain Robinson. Rain Robinson did a great job of hiding that ball as he just slipped through the line. Everyone thought that was a keeper by Stuck, and Robinson will grind it down to the 4-yard line. And Placer's just going to head off the field. That will do it for the third quarter. Still 15 seconds on the clock, but it will run out. And Placer, I am sure, is happy with the 2-possession lead they have, threatening 3 if they can get 4 yards in 4 plays as we head to the end of the third quarter. 35-21 Hillmen over the Colfax Falcons. We'll come back with the fourth quarter here on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
Hey, hon, remember the guys are coming over later to watch the game.
Make a play for winning trays from Portisupps. We have the perfect tray for every game and every fan, so use your app or order online today.
Make Portisupps your destination.
Back at Colfax High School, 35-21 as we approach the start of the fourth quarter. Let's talk a bit about the Bill Slade & Sons Trucking Player of the Game. There are a few players that it could go to. Could go to Anthony Kerrigan, could go to Mario Perez, could go to Dallin Trentman, honestly. All running backs of Placer.
This is a tough one, Steve, because it's been so evenly distributed as far as the football is concerned. Placer, their defense also deserves a look. Let me think about this one.
Well, here's 1st and goal on the 4. The handoff is to Rain Robinson. Robinson tripped up. He will fall forward for a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd and goal on the 2. Possibly even the 3. Yeah, he tripped when he took that handoff. And I'll spot this on the 2, so 2nd and goal on the 2. I had this game at 35-28. I think I'm a touchdown in the wrong direction, but the total score is the same. As handoff to Rain Robinson. Robinson falls forward, and he is in. Rain Robinson got tripped up again in the backfield, but kept his feet just enough to dive forward. And that puts Placer ahead, 41-21. So Van Dyke will attempt his 6th point after. And this one is good, 6 for 6 on the night, 42-21.
Taking a quick look at the replay, nothing fancy here, just a straight inline blocking on the right side. And he's going to push it in.
Yeah, he got hit at the line and just dove forward for the touchdown. Nothing fancy, just a quick slant run for Rain Robinson. So we'll get the kickoff on the NorCal Game of the Week on TouchdownProductions.com.
The Northridge Restaurant is a proud supporter of the Penn Valley Rodeo and offers you this rodeo special, ribs and a large pepperoni pizza for only $11.99. And don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursday, sample their authentic Mexican food at the Northridge, where you can make reservations or take out. 3 locations to serve you: Nevada City, Bear River, and in Penn Valley. It's the Northridge Restaurant. Check them out online.
Back at Colfax High School, the Placer Hillmen just scored their 6th touchdown of the night. They lead Colfax 42-21 with 11:16 left in the 4th quarter. Placer will kick off. 2 men back at about the 15-yard line for Colfax. And the kick from Van Dyke on the way. That's a deep one. That's going to get over the head and into the end zone. Ahrens was thinking about trying to catch that, but he just lets that go, and Colfax will take over on their own 20, which has been about par for the course on the night for the Falcons. They really haven't had too much luck other than the onside kick in terms of starting field position.
Falcons can't give up hope here. They've got to pay for pride. They've got to keep driving the football.
3 possessions. There's 11:16 left in this game, and they still have 2 timeouts. So time not too much of a factor right now, as there's 4 wide. Back to throw, and in and out of the hands of Hunter Klopotek. And that's Ryland Hyman in a quarterback again.
He sure laid it on Klopotek. I'll tell you what, that ball was beautifully thrown. It went right through his hands and hit him in the chest.
Yeah, right in the chest.
It did. Watch this. He hits him right in the hands. And earlier, Klopotek had a beautiful catch, if you recall.
That's the way it usually works. Catch the hard one, miss the easy one. Hyman slips as he throws that one, intended for Jake Green. And that brings up 3rd and 10. And it's still Hyman out there. Yeah, Hyman just went to step and throw, and his back foot was gone. 4 wide. Scratch that, 3 wide. 2-man back. And going deep, up for it, incomplete, intended for Nick Van Dorn. It may have been a little contact at around the 40-yard line, but there's no flag. Brings up 4th and 10. And if you're Placer, or if you're Colfax rather, you pretty much have to go for it. 3-possession game.
So Tony Martello has decided to just play air ball.
And it's going to be Austin Weirin now at quarterback. No, they're going to punt.
They're going to punt the ball.
Well, that's essentially a white flag. Placer scrambling, and it's going to be a delay of game against Colfax. Man, how many? No, they're going to pick it up. That was somewhat interesting. The back judge throws the flag for delay of game, immediately picks it up, waves it off. No, the punt's still all set. Kicks it from his own 8-yard line. Got to kind of up the heel. That takes a sideways bounce and will roll and get to the 49-yard line of Colfax. So it's on the Colfax defense. They need a stop. Otherwise, they'll push to a 4-possession game, and that's pretty much lights out any time in the second half. A little bit of a discussion between the referees
on that flag. I think what happened was there were 12 men on the field, and he got off in time. The whistle was blown, and he threw the flag and then put it back in his pocket.
Well, Placer has it in Colfax territory for the 3rd time tonight. Hand off to Kerrigan. Kerrigan right side, cuts up the middle and picks up about 8.
Placer's going to be content to keep it on the ground. They'll just grind themselves down.
Just keep that clock running.
Keep the clock running.
2nd and 4. The clock winds its way down, gets about the 10-20 mark. Make that 10-15. Late inside handoff, and that's snuffed out by the Falcons nicely. That'll result in maybe a gain of 1 yard, 3rd and 3. That was Trentman on the carry. McDade on the tackle again.
You know, Steve, let's talk about the Player of the Game award. I'm going to let you make this call. As far as I'm concerned, there are so many Placer players that we could choose, and it's just a very fine line between which one we choose.
There's 3rd and 3 for the Hillmen. Inside handoff to Rain Robinson, and Robinson's still on his feet. Takes 2 Falcons to wrestle him down, but he gets the first down. And Rain Robinson is just running. I'm struggling for a comparison. He's running like a moose out there.
He's like a buffalo, yeah. Puts his head down, is so strong.
And you get a Falcon attached to him and try and wrestle him to the ground like a steer. Oh, another first down for Placer. That allows the clock to keep running down. We're inside, well, approaching the 9-minute mark anyway. And slowly Placer will make its way to the line. A little too slowly for Coach Montoya. He's going to call his second timeout of the half at the 9:05 mark. So at 42-21, 9:05 left in the game. Placer leads on the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
With nearly 30 years of proudly serving our community, Auburn Toyota is expanding to offer more new Toyota inventory than ever before. Chances are we have the exact Toyota model you want, ready for you to drive home today. With many years of combined sales experience and hundreds of new Toyota cars, trucks, 4x4s, and SUVs, now is the perfect time to buy at Auburn Toyota. Come see why for generations Foothill Toyota buyers buy from Auburn Toyota, which is why we like to say Auburn Toyota is the place where the customers come back.
Back at Colfax High School, Placer's got a 1st and 10, 9 minutes left in the game. And off to Rain Robinson. Rain Robinson gets leg tackled after a gain of 6. And I think the rest of this game, it's going to be the Rain Robinson and Dallin Trentman show in the 4th quarter. Just give it to the grinders.
And why not? That will get the job done. The Falcons haven't shown that they can stop that run. They can get 5 virtually every time they go across the line.
And that's usually Mario Perez level. But this defense has been out on the field so long. There's a handoff to Devin Tosti. And Tosti will be short of the first down by about 1 yard. So 3rd and short for the Hillmen. They lead 42-21, approaching the 8-minute mark. And with that long high school play clock, one series can last over 2 minutes. Let's see, they got Kerrigan in. They've got Perez. And I think this is going to be either a false start or an illegal shift. Either way, it's not good for Placer.
It's going to definitely back them up 5 yards. I'm not sure what the call will be, Steve. Let's see what the linemen weren't down. They could move the player to the backfield.
That's what it looked like. They wanted to back up Devin Tosti. And the head referee is having a talk with Mark Avila. Not really sure why.
They're going to pick it up.
The flag was going to be for an illegal shift, but it is waved off. So 3rd and 2, clock will continue to run, which is nice for Placer anyway. And it's a handoff to Perez. Perez, no, it's a keeper. All the way on the right side, handoff to Kerrigan, and Kerrigan waltzes in. Man, there were 2 Falcons that were trying to wrestle Mario Perez to the ground, and he didn't have it.
Kerrigan going around the outside. Great deception in the backfield. As we've seen in the past, Kerrigan weaving his way in. Only a couple defenders even had a chance at him.
48-21. Kick basically uncontested is good. That will up the score 49-21 with 7:27 left in the 4th quarter. Colfax gets stunned on that big run by number 21, Anthony Kerrigan.
So here you go, Steve. You can call this one.
There's the fake end around to Kerrigan. Kerrigan, everyone's looking left side. Everyone. Wide open hole on the right for Kerrigan. Kerrigan basically just has to get around one, gets a great block, a huge block from Guillermo Morfin, and then it's just a matter of getting into the end zone. What a wonderfully drawn up play. One block and he's in. Placer Hillmen lead 49-21 in the fourth quarter on the NorCal Game of the Week on touchdownproductions.com.
The Dive is the newest family-friendly restaurant in Lake of the Pines. Their entire menu of burgers, salads, and sandwiches are available for dining in or to take home. Featuring a selection of beer and wines, they also offer catering services for your next event with their new food truck, Dive on the Go. It's The Dive in Lake of the Pines on Comby Road and dineatthedive.com.
Back at Colfax High School, kick on the way from Placer. They just extended the lead to 49-21. This kick will go out of bounds, which is fortunate for Colfax anyway. Means they can't fumble the return. And it's now a 4-possession game with 7:27 left. I think that was the final nail in the coffin. Ryland Hyman will more than likely be the quarterback for the rest of this game. And that's tough. Austin Weir had a great game at quarterback. It was really the defense that let him down. Although Weir does continue his season without throwing an interception.
Let's see if Tony Martello decides to throw the football. Last series wasn't so effective. He's only got 7 minutes and a half left.
Well, you have to go for the end zone. You know you've got a good offense. 4 wide, single man back. Take the handoff. Hyman throwing deep up the middle, and there's no one there. Intended for Klopotek. That was a good 5 yards over his head. And for Colfax, Ryland Hyman did get some looks last week against Wheatland. There's a late inside handoff, and that's going nowhere. I believe that was Avila, but Avila was hit in the backfield. I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 2. Bring it up 3rd and 12. Yeah, last week against Wheatland, Weir went 7 for 9, and then Hyman went 1 for 2 for 32 yards. Getting a few more looks tonight. Here's 3rd and 12. Hit as he throws in and out of the hands of Nick Van Dorn.
So that'll bring 4th down and 12.
And at this point in the game, you have to just punt it away, right?
I would think, certainly.
Looks like that is what they will do. Nick Van Dorn, I believe, is their punter.
No one's back.
Yeah, no one back for Placer. Well, there's the kick away. Hits at the 42, will roll to about the 28-yard line. And a very late flag coming in from the far side referee. This might be sideline infraction number 2. We will see what the call is. So the referees will have another meeting. 6:33 left in the fourth quarter. It is a 28-point lead for Placer.
Officials trying to sort it out here. Looks like they're going to spot the ball in the 28-yard line.
That's where I had it stopped anyway.
So here's the call. It is against Placer. 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Placer leading 49-21 here.
That's going to be a 10-yard penalty against Placer. That'll back him up to their own 14-yard line. So this might be the deepest field position that the Hillmans have started with tonight. Although in a 4-possession game, and Placer's offense has been looking pretty potent even on the straight runs. Really not too worried about that. There's a late handoff to Tosti. Tosti on the right side. He will fall forward for about 7.
So, Steve, I'm going to give you until 5 minutes to name your player of the game.
Well, Perez is certainly a candidate. Kerrigan has made all the big plays. And don't forget, on defense, Chase Laguna Scott has come up huge. And there's the 2nd and 3 as we are under 6 minutes, and we have some more flags. This is thrown by the head referee. It'll be a false start on Placer from 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 8. And I'm inclined to give some special consideration to Morgan Rain Robinson, who has not only been a horse in the backfield, but he's been playing some pretty solid defense too.
He certainly should be mentioned in the mix of it.
Late handoff to Kerrigan on the right side. Kerrigan, no one looking at him. He's going to get the first down and then some. Finally taken down at the 40-yard line.
Wow.
And then there's Anthony Kerrigan.
Kerrigan really showing a burst of speed there at the end. He had only one player to beat the end zone in front of him. They're moving the flags now. They're going to put the ball down. Looks like he stepped out of bounds at about the 38.
Now there's 2 ways to defeat that sweeping late handoff. You can either get penetration deep before the play develops, or you can beat Kerrigan to the sideline, and so far no one has been able to beat Kerrigan to the sideline. There's Tosti. Tosti cuts up the middle, and he breaks through. There's going to be a flag. This might be coming back. Otherwise, Tosti's in a foot race to the end zone. He's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line. Big tackle by number 5, Jamison Hobbs.
Jamison Hobbs was not going to let him score. You could see he was bearing down on him. He was going to tackle him before he got in that end zone.
Well, this play is coming back anyway. Not that it mattered. It's a block to the back against Placer. So all those rushing yards for Devin Tosti get erased as that block to the back occurred 11 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Had no bearing on whether he was going to run for the touchdown or not.
No, he slipped through the line nicely. That was an excellent run by the 5'9" defensive end. And that's a 10-yard penalty from the spot, so it'll actually be 1st and 9 after the 10-yard penalty. Quick inside handoff to Mario Perez, and Perez bowls over a safety and picks up about 20 yards. Wow. These are some strong running backs for Placer.
The Falcons are just laying down now. I'm sorry.
Well, they're laying down after they get hit by Mario Perez.
They're arm tackling, and they're just not. They just want to get into the locker room.
There's Perez on the left side of your screen. Lowers his shoulder and just trucks a safety. Wow. That wasn't an arm tackle. That was just being run over. 1st and 10 for Placer. There's Perez. Perez cuts to the right and gets wrestled down and away from the play Number 73, Ty Smethers, just leveled, well away from the play, just leveled Paul Banks. That got no call, as that was 15 yards away from anything that mattered. But a 5-yard run for Perez.
You got to get your licks in when you can.
2nd and 5 for Placer. And Smethers is going to get taken out now. The coach has noticed anyway. Quick hand up to Perez. Perez runs right through the hole and gets his legs taken out from under him, but that will be another Placer first down. Well, the clock winds down under 4 minutes. 49-21. Placer leads the Falcons. Don't forget, coming into this game, Placer is 1-4.
You're gonna meet me there,
Colfax was 4-1. Just goes to show you how tough the PVL is. There's Tosti with another long run. A lot of work to get those 7 yards. Finally brought down. Jacob LaHaye was in there. And this next play will more than likely come under the 3-minute mark. And I think as the clock runs down, I think we're going to give this player of the game to Mario Perez. He's been fantastic. That's number 24, listed as a fullback. There's a quick inside handoff to Tosti again, and he will be a yard short of the first down. Actually, it'll be a few yards short of the first down. 3rd and 2.
Clock mercifully running down, 2:48 left.
No inclination on the side of Colfax to stop this clock unless they can force a turnover anyway.
Placer determined to score one more time.
And this ball is fumbled at the line, and there are flags before the play. I think the reason that ball was fumbled is because quarterback Michael Stuck was expecting the ball to be snapped, and it wasn't. So don't usually see a quarterback false start, and that's what we had there.
That was unusual.
I'll march him back. It'll be 3rd and 8. That's a little different animal than 3rd and 2. Clock still marching down. Gets to about the 2-minute mark. There's Perez. No, it's another end around. And that was Aiden Barnhart. So Barnhart gets to the outside, and he gets about a yard short of the first down, so the clock will continue to run. Under 2 minutes now. And, man, that's a tough spot from the referee. I thought he got about a yard shy. They're going to mark this a 4th and 3. Well, Placer going for it. If they don't get it, well, regardless, the clock will stop at the end of this play. There's Perez. Perez up the middle, runs through the hole, gets the first down, and about 3 extra. So Perez will get brought down at the 14-yard line. Clock will momentarily stop as they reset the sticks at 1:19.
Joey Montoya could just kneel on the ball now. I think that would be a classic thing to do. Let the clock run down and just kneel. There's no need to try to drive into the end zone.
Yeah, we're at the 1 minute mark. And that is exactly what they are going to do.
Joey is a classy guy. This game was decided sometime in the middle of the 4th quarter.
And Andrew Tejada just leveled Paul Banks on that kneel down play.
What was that about?
Well, Ty Smethers is going to run out for Colfax now and replace Andrew Tejada. Todd is going to hustle off the field and answer to his coaches on that. Coach is more than likely saying, what, do you want them to try and score on us with 25
that's
seconds
the kind
left?
of play that gets a pass over your head on the kneel down.
Well, the referees are stepping in. 15 seconds left. I think they're just going to end this game. And
they will.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. The clock's going to run down from 7 seconds. But this game is over. 49-21. Placer Hillmen over the Colfax Falcons. They go 1-0 in league. Colfax goes 0-1 to start the PVL season. 49-21 is your final. So the players will shake hands at midfield. And that was just a tough game. That was a tough game for both teams. Placer looking by far the more consistent of the two, but Colfax really opened it up with those fumbles right after the punts. You just can't do that. That's just the worst possible timing. The 2 times when your defense stands up and then you put them right back on the field.
And Steve, that opens the question, who is going to beat Placer in the PVL this year? We've seen most of the teams now. We'll see next week. We will probably see Center, but we've seen Lincoln. We've certainly seen Bear River. We've seen Colfax. I think this Placer team is the toast of the PVL this year.
Well, you got to look at the preseason teams. Placer has played some tough teams. The last of which was Vista Del Lago. They're ranked in the 200s in the state, which in a state as big as California is a really high ranking.
Right.
To get pummeled by Vista Del Lago is not that horrible of a thing. So you really have to look at what Center has done in the preseason. They were also 4-1 coming into tonight. So we'll head down to the field where Gil Dominguez will be presenting the Bill Slade & Sons Trucking Player of the Game Award to number 24, Mario Perez.
Send it down to Gil.
Thanks a lot, Steve. We're down here on the field with number 24 himself, Mario Perez. Mario, it's our distinct honor to give you the Bill Slade & Sons Trucking Player of the Game Award for this week. What an outstanding performance by the Hillmen.
Thank you. We're 1-4, so it kind of felt good to get a win under our belt.
Well, let's talk about that 1-4 for a second. You sure did not play like 1-4 tonight.
Oh, thank you. I never did like Colfax ever since sophomore year. So
the rivalry between the two schools, this is why it's a rivalry game. But the other side of that rivalry is you do respect your opponents.
Yeah. You have to respect them because they're just football players just like you. So, we're just all out here to play football. So,
well, let's talk about your performance tonight. Great game by you. What sticks out in your mind?
Our line was doing great. So there's big holes. It made it easy for me to run. So the line did great.
Now you did have some big runs out there, and really in some crucial situations.
Yeah, when the coach says get the first down, I have to get the first down,
That's right. Otherwise, Joey's going to have some words for you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you guys got out to an early lead, but then in the third quarter, it looked like you kind of were laying back a bit.
Yeah, we got to work on our passing game, but tonight we picked it up. Fourth quarter, we didn't let them score, so that's good.
Well, after they kind of punched you in the nose a little bit there in the third quarter, was that something that got the team going?
Oh, yeah, that fired all of us up. I mean, our line and our running backs do not like getting pushed back. So.
Now you guys are coming off of the perfect season last year, 10-0, won the league. It won't be 10-0 this year, but certainly the league title, is that something that you guys are shooting for?
Oh, yeah. That's our main concern right now, winning the league title. I mean, we're just going to play it like we do, and whatever happens, happens.
And, of course, now we're into the PVL season. Colfax coming in at 4-1. We thought that would be a little bit stiffer competition. Who else in the PVL do you guys have your eye on?
I think Lincoln. Lincoln's a big they're going to be a tough opponent, but I think we got it. As long as we keep practicing like we do, conditioning, I think we got it.
And then at the end of the season, of course, you got that big rivalry with Bear River.
Oh, yeah. Bear River, it's going to be fun. Last year, we barely won. Oh, and it's going to be fun this year.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for a great game. Congratulations to the Hillmen, and congratulations on being our Bill Slade & Son Player of the Game.
Thank you. It's a real honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for a great performance.
All right, thanks.
All right, Steve, that's it from the field. Let's go back up to you.
Well, there you have it. 49-21 is your final score. Placer goes 1-0 to start the PVL, and Colfax goes 0-1. An excellent offensive and defensive showing from the Hillmen.
Your executive producer tonight is Gilbert M. Dominguez. Thank you, Gilbert. Another great show. Camera operators, Cassandra Hamlin and Eric Schmidt. Cassandra did a great job. Steve Sitter, the toast of play-by-play. Thank you, Steve. You're always a pleasure to work with. I'm Paul Brown. Remote facilities, the Commander 2. Website by Lynn Dominguez. Michelle Brown at The Look does the hairstyling, not mine, but somebody's, probably Gil's. Wardrobe by RUOutside.com. Get on to RU Outside to see the great assemble of winter wear. Player of the Game Award, Bill Slade and Sons Trucking. Thanks so much, Bill Slade. We do appreciate that. And so do the kids that received those awards. Plaza Tire and Auto Service, Reeves Auto Parts, and Celestial Valley Towing. They help take care of the Commander 2. Touchdown Accounting by Cinto Group, LLP. Listen, if you like what you hear, give us a call. Send us an email. We always like to hear from our fans out there. And for Paul Brown and Steve Sitter, Gil Dominguez, thanks for joining us tonight. This has been your NorCal Game of the Week.